And since the summer, production has been ramping up very fast. If you look at the first reviews that for hundreds of people who now got it, or the pre-ordering people, it's quite amazing how they they've never tried anything like this, and it's quite exciting. So we'll see how this goes. But it was interesting to go from an academic project that then was left simmering for a few years in the lab, and then we decided to follow the standard path, which is what you see at MIT all the time, which is get venture capital funds, get a garage. The funny thing is, next to MIT, there's, if you need to do a startup in the United States, you need a garage. So you've got now this kind of black market of garages. You pay them like on Fifth Avenue in New York, next to the university, and get a team now, 40, 50 people working on this full time. Another project I wanted to share with you is something we did last year, the World Expo. That was done by our design office. We were fortunate enough to do 2 pavilions at the World Expo. One was the what we call the Future Food District, which was the 2 pavilions. The 2 pavilions were, in this case, the box was given to us, but we were given freedom to do anything inside. And the one to the left, we're given as a topic the future supermarket. As you might know, the theme of the expo in Milan last year was food and feeding the planet. 2010 was Shanghai, 2015 was Milan, 2020 will be Dubai. And so, because of feeding the planet, the topic we were given was about, the supermarket. Now, we knew what we did not want to do. We didn't want to do this. This beautiful picture by Andreas Gursky, but this kind of alienating idea of the supermarket. Our idea was, how can we get inspiration from this quote by Italo Calvino? Italo Calvino has a character called Mr. Palomar, who one day goes into a fromagerie, into a cheese shop in Paris. And Calvino says that little by little the guy starts thinking about all the stories behind the products, the piece of cheese. And he starts thinking he's in a museum, finally he's at the Louvre. So the idea that products can tell us their stories. Today we know a lot about products. If you think about the last bottle of wine you had, if you scanned the label and if you look it up online, you probably know everything from the vineyard, where it is, when the wine was made, where the cave is, and so on. You know all this information, but the information is not there when you buy it. And of course, that's not a new problem. If you look at this as something, that Tesco, a big UK supermarket chain, tried to do in Seoul, about allowing people to get those stories from products. And so the idea was, take your phone, you scan the product, the label, and then you get that information, and then you buy it. But if you look at this, again, this is quite alienating. So it's no surprise that this was not a big success. It lasted for a few months, and then it was dismantled. Incidentally, this was in the subway. You see in the subway in Seoul, you see the train, the guy entering the train there. But that idea of how, we can actually get access to those stories when we buy something. So instead of this, we wanted to try to see how we can get access to those stories in a more natural way. If you look at this picture, this painting of a traditional market, look at the richness of interaction between people and people and products, and people through products. So what happens in the natural market? So the way we did it was we put everything on tables, and then we put a lot of Kinect sensors about the table. Kinect, as you might know, is that sensor that you can use if you use the Xbox by Microsoft. It does like a very simplified and cheap 3D scan of your body. So if you have a Kinect sensor, you know where a person is, and you know how the person is moving, like a very simplified 3-dimensional scan. Now the table, because since the beginning of for thousands of years, tables have been a very communal interface for humans to eat together, to share things, to sell things. And then the scanners, in order to automatically understand about how you're engaging with products. And so with the idea that as you touch something, this thing starts telling you the story about where it's coming. You can buy an apple in 1 second, like you do today, or you can engage for 5 seconds. You know more about it, or you can engage for 15 seconds. You can see the orchard where the apple is coming from. So this was, the supermarket, like done a little bit like a theater. You see all the products together, and then you got these different layers of information lower, and also the top aggregated clicks, all the things that people are clicking on, like you do online, but today you cannot do in a supermarket. This was the built supermarket. So you see the tables, you see different layers of information. People touching and interacting with products, and with different layers of information. The basic thing is you get just nutritional values or carbon footprint, but then the more you engage, the richer that layer becomes. And here's a short video about it. have sound anymore? And this was another example. In this case, this led to a patent last year, and this patent is now being used by a number of is being licensed right now by a number of global supermarket chains in order to bring the same technology in different places. Carrefour and Coke was our partner here. Target in the United States has been expressing interest. So how basically, again, in this case, from a design project, they tried a new interface between us and the environment. This is leading to something that from a prototype is entering again through a different channel into the real world. And I have seen a couple of minutes. I want to share with you a final project, which is we call Maker Shaker. And I added it because I was hearing before about the fourth industrial revolution, the previous presentation, and also because it's quite fun. So it's the end of the day, and I wanted to end with this. So a couple of years ago, we were invited by Google to do a big installation at the end of the Google I/O party. Sorry, the Google I/O conference that has a big party. We were invited to do a large installation. The topic we were given was about fourth industrial revolution and robots. Incidentally, that's from 2012, the third industrial revolution. Usually people see the third industrial revolution as a revolution with robotics, and the fourth industrial revolution when you put robotics and Internet of Things together. So that's why third and fourth are usually divided like that. But how to do an installation that would give people a feeling about this? Robotics is great, but can you make it? Can you show in better how this can have an impact on our life? So we want the people to engage and take control, to participate and have fun, to come together and make new connections. And there's a lot of semantics about robotics we've seen for a long time of how they can enter in our lives. So we're thinking about this, and we're thinking about this, which is how robots can help us to make things in a more seamless way. But we can then put more energy, more effort in design, in how we design things, and then robots can help execute, and then we can enjoy things together. So basically, robots are changing this, which means we can have more time and effort on the design, on the creative side at the beginning, and on the enjoyment at the end. So we're thinking about this and say, how can we make this clear in a very tangible way? Ultimately, this was a big party at the end of Google I/O. Billy Idol was singing on stage. We were next to the stage. And we said, okay, let's do something fun, but that people will show people the ability to take control of robots. Let's do a robot that will make a cocktail for you. So you make your cocktail on the phone, and then the robot will execute it like this. So we did that, and that was for fun and almost as a joke, but the next day actually this went viral, and so everybody started talking about it in all the media worldwide, and we started receiving hundreds of requests from people who said, can I buy this? Can I have it for my wedding? It resonated particularly with Indian weddings. A lot of requests from India saying, I want this thing, I need to have this thing for my Indian wedding. And so one of our offices were basically in Boston, Turin, and Milan, and Singapore. Southern Italy has today, like Spain, Italy, France, have a high youth unemployment. So, there seems to be a request here. Let's do a startup and see where this goes. So it was a couple of years ago. The first big clients became Royal Caribbean. They started installing it on their ships. And so the startup has been growing exponentially, not only with Royal Caribbean, going from 1, 2, and 3 ships this year for them, but also with this kind of every second actually there's somebody tweeting about this, and hundreds of posts being uploaded from these 4 machines, and the idea that this is I'll skip the video because of time, but this the company has been growing exponentially and thinks about how you could think about tomorrow, about how this could become like the Nespresso for drinks. So it was more fun. I want to finish with this, given that we're getting close to drink time and the end of the afternoon. But another example of how the simple idea then can turn into a product. And I'll stop here. Thank you.
Thank you very much.